What's going on, everybody? Off the Mike Sports Network. More reaction to Super Bowl 60. The New England Patriots get destroyed 29-13 by the Seattle Seahawks. Congratulations to the Seahawks. We did an extensive breakdown of what happened in this game, but I want to talk about the Patriots because I got destroyed for daring to say for weeks and months on end that the Patriots were frauds. If you watch that game, and you watch their entire postseason run, what convinces you that the New England Patriots, outside of getting a cakewalk through the season, winning 14 games, getting gifted 3 playoff wins, one against a beat-up Chargers team, one against the Texans team that couldn't hang on to the ball, and then a Denver Broncos team that, ultimately had their backup quarterback and scored one touchdown on their first drive of this, or first or second drive of the game, and then didn't score the rest of the game. What do you think was going to happen in this game? I'm sorry if you're a Patriots fan and this offends you. Y'all were frauds. Look no further than what happened. Let me give you guys the Patriots drive chart for let me go through the first several drives of this game. First drive of the game, 8 plays, 28 yards, punt. Second drive of the game, 4 plays, 6 yards, punt. Third drive of the game, 3 plays, 5 yards, punt. Fourth drive of the game, 3 plays, -2 yards, punt. 6 plays, 10 yards, punt. 1 play, -1 yard, end of half, so a kneel down. First drive of the second half, 3 plays, 7 yards, punt. Second drive of the second half, 3 plays, 9 yards, punt. 3 plays, 6 yards, punt. 5 plays, 10 yards, fumble. It wasn't until the fourth quarter where they went 3 plays, 65 yards, where they completed 2 passes to Matt Collins, where the Patriots actually got going. Then you had a 7-play drive, 40 yards, interception. 4 plays, 18 yards, interception. Then they had an 8-play, 65-yard drive when they were down 29-7 and led to a touchdown. I know people are going to look at the stats at the end of this game and say, well, they had the same amount of yards. I just gave you guys the first 8 drives of the game. A lot of 3-and-outs. Drake May, 3 turnovers. Yeah, he had almost 300 yards passing. But that was when this game was over. This game was over. The only 2 drives that they had of note where they got a touchdown was when it was 19-0 and it was 29-7. I don't know what you Patriot fans were expecting was going to happen, that the second coming with Tom Brady was going to happen in this Super Bowl. The Seahawks were a historically great defense. Drake May against comparable defenses, Houston, Denver, struggled. These were perfect conditions in Santa Clara at Levi's Stadium. He was awful in this game. Awful. They were down 19-7. They had momentum. Throws a terrible interception. Some of this was also the fact that their young offensive line was getting destroyed. Was getting absolutely destroyed. The only saving grace for this New England Patriots team is their defense. Christian Gonzalez was fucking great in this game. The New England Patriots defense made this a lot better than it looked. If not for the Patriots defense, this was going to be one of the worst butt kickings that we've ever seen in the Super Bowl. This would have been closer to the Seahawks' first Super Bowl win against the Broncos, which was 43-8, which was 12 years ago. The Patriots were frauds. They were absolute fucking frauds. They're a young team who was blessed with a last place schedule, played one team with a winning record, and won 14 games, and then their postseason run consisted of Justin Herbert and the Chargers, who were beat up, C.J. Stroud and the Texans, who their defense played exceptional, but their quarterback didn't take care of the ball. Sam Darnold did take care of the ball, and what happened? What happened? Sam Darnold was a 50% passer in this game, literally didn't do anything exceptionally well, threw for only 200 yards, but because the The Seahawks ran for 170 yards in this game. Kenneth Walker was exceptional in this game. That's why you saw the result that you did. They got blessed with a great path to the Super Bowl, and good on them. Mike Vrabel helped turn this franchise around, but let's see what they can do next year with a first-place schedule and a hungry Bills team that knows that they let one slip through their fingers. I've seen a lot of Broncos fans saying, yeah, we would have beaten either one of these teams. Let's not do that. The Seahawks are a really good team, and they deserve a ton of credit. But what this ultimately comes down to is that a lot of people in the last 2 weeks were trying to convince themselves that the Patriots had a shot in this game, and they didn't. They didn't. It was 12-0 in the second half of this game, and it felt like it was 30-0. The Patriots could not do anything. Drake May, because he is a talented young man, made a couple of really great throws to a fellow North Carolina Tar Heel, Matt Collins, and they got a touchdown. And then he made he had a couple interceptions. He had a fumble, 3 turnovers. This Seahawks defense had this team in hell. And this is what happens when you finally play a real team this year. They really, outside of Buffalo, they played really nobody. I mean, they played in a division with the Dolphins. They played in a division with the Jets. I mean, they split their series with the Bills. This team lost to the Raiders week 1. I'm not saying that they're close to that team because the Raiders were awful this year. But again, be happy if you're a Patriots fan that you got to the Super Bowl. But to act like this was some sort of amazing run and that the dynasty is back and the golden years are back. Come on, really? Really? Like I said, they beat one team with a winning record this year. And that was the Bills, which was in week 4 or something like that. They also beat the Bucks on the road, but the Bucks finished 8-9. Those are the 2 best teams you beat all year. And the teams you beat in the playoffs, the Chargers were limited. We know, and the narrative around Justin Herbert, that's a whole other discussion. The Texans, if they hang on to the ball, they win that game. And if the Broncos have Bo Nix, they probably win that game too. This Patriots team was blessed and got a cakewalk path to the Super Bowl. And some of that needs to be commended because you can only beat the teams that are in front of you. But at the same time, let's call it what it is. They were frauds. They were frauds. And anybody surprised by this result just does not know ball. They don't. This was a fraudulent run to the Super Bowl. And it was nice to see some of these idiot Patriot fans get a taste of their own medicine. The Dave Portnoys of the world, all these dumbass Boston sports fans. Guys, your team was fine. You overachieved. But you didn't belong in the Super Bowl. It's just because, Mahomes is out of the way. Josh Allen vomited all over himself, and Sean McDermott didn't help. And hey, you faced a backup quarterback in the AFC Championship game. CJ Stroud vomited all over himself. Seriously, what are we doing? Good on the Seahawks for winning, but the Patriots, let's just end that right now. The Patriots, this was always going to happen. The Patriots didn't belong. And they got there because of a set of circumstances that were laid out in front of them. So that's my thought on that. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.